and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be going on a movie review which I put up on my Instagram as a poll, and this one was an overwhelming success. Cabin in the Woods. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you do it, and I will put it out there right now. Possible spoiler alert, because hey, if you haven't seen it by now, you should. So this film was released in 2011, directed by Drew Goddard. It's written by Joss Whedon and also Drew Goddard as well. This is a really fun film. It's a really good film. I'll go into that a little bit later as to why, but we'll start off with one of the main reasons as to why it's such a good film is the cast. You've got a huge cast of characters here. You've got Kristen Connolly, Chris Hemsworth, Anna Hutchinson, Fran Kranz, Jesse Williams, Richard Jenkins, who's one of those actors where you've probably seen him in 100 other things, Bradley Whitford, who a lot of people may recognise from Get Out, and he was amazing in that. He's also really good in this. You've also got Amy Acker, Jodelle Ferland, and Sigourney Weaver. I still remember the first time watching this when she first appeared. I was like, what is going on here? I was completely blown away by that. But overall, the cast is just really good. They play their roles, and there are specific roles really well in this film. So for an example, Chris Hemsworth, he starts out as, typical nice guy. He's obviously plays football, but he's also smart. But seeing him transition from the all-round, all-American good guy through to jock douchebag, really well done, and he played it very well. Same with Fran Kranz, who plays the fool in it, or your typical stoner character. He's hilarious in it, very funny, really well done. The rest of the cast are really good, in their roles, and it looks as though they just had a lot of fun playing these characters. Which comes across quite well in the film. Now, the film itself is basically, you've got your standard story for a horror film where a bunch of kids go to a cabin in the woods, hence the title. So it's your typical horror setting and element. But it combines a reason behind the horror elements in it, which I found really well done. The facility, the release of the monsters, and I'll go into the monsters in a moment as well. But overall, it's just it's a really well made, well thought out, well written film. And combining all those elements would have taken a lot of thought to make it work, and they've made it work brilliantly. So going on to the monsters, and once again, this does combine into the horror, the archetypical elements of a horror film. So the characters discover a basement, which is kind of set up by the facility, where they get to choose the instrument of their demise. Kind of Ghostbusters, really, when you think about it. But there's no Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in this. But they do get to choose from, according to IMDb, 60 plus monsters. The ones they choose are the Bruckners, which are a redneck zombie torture family. And you can see the other options they have in there, and some of them are based on very, very typical horror films. There's obviously some rip-offs from Hellraiser with there's a sphere in there. You've got your standard zombies, which you see in the third act. You've got a unicorn. One of the most fun ones looked to be the merman, and that scene is just really, really well done. But with those 60 plus monsters, that's a lot to choose from. You do get to see them in the third act. You get to see them here and there, and then when the purge button is hit, and once again, if you have not seen it, this is, you've just consider it spoiled. You get to see all these monsters come out of their cages where they've been kept, and just go on a murderous rampage. So much fun. There's a literal blood spewing everywhere. Like I said, if you have not seen it, I highly recommend it. It is, I've probably watched it about 5 or 6 times now. I just gave it a rewatch the other day just to refresh. And it's still fun, like it's still a really good film. Yeah, look, for my review, I would give this easily an 8.5 out of 10. I love the ending, like there's no way they can do anything more with it. I'd love to see them do a sequel, but I can't see it happening. Once again, highly recommend you go see it if you haven't already, but like I said, 8.5 out of 10 for a fun horror film, which combines all the best elements of a horror film into one. From your stereotypical horror film, that is, you know, not your newer types like Get Out, Us, some of those ones, which are really good as well, but it takes from a whole host of horror film elements and combines more into one. So I really enjoy this film and I can't say enough good things about it. So that's my review. Well, thank you very much for watching. I'll put another poll up on my Instagram, and yeah, but there you have it. My review for The Cabin in the Woods, done and dusted. So thank you once again for joining me. Make sure you do give this video a big thumbs up and a like, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. It does help me out a lot. I'll be back next week with another review, so thank you for joining. See ya.